Okay, so here's a couple of navigation things I just want to make sure we're on the same page about. When you open up your session, you'll probably see it looking a little bit more like this. This thing might not even be there. I just want to remind you how we got here, since it might have been a while before you check this out. The mix window is the one that's referring to these, the typical console. I have a couple of items on here that I'll tell you that you haven't seen before, just in case you ever need them in the future. One of them is called the spectrum meter. When you open that up, it actually looks like this. And what it does is it kind of gives you a breakdown
And now
of everything
Mississippi author Sylvia McNeil
across the board. Now, you'll notice when I close this, it still shows here. So you should be able to see it.
reads from her book
That
Secret
might help you
Words.
in the future if you're
Accompanying
checking to see
yours
for
truly,
something that
Mark
looks
Bagley,
too
on
base heavy
Renaissance
or
Loop.
too bright. Just so you know that that spectrum meter will be here on our session today. The other thing you may or may not have would be the browser. And if you have the browser window open, this will be lit, just reminding you all this stuff. But another place you might get it would be over here. If this little icon thing here, I meant to say this, all the things that are selected in here, all these options that you have are also available across this top tab. So if you're ever in a different area, just look across the top tab for the home page, okay? And that'll get you back to here. We've talked about the cloud before and the cloud view of how we get to the sphere workspaces. There's some boxes here which might give you a different view, which would be this kind of a view. So if what you're seeing looks more like this, and you'd rather see it look like this, you click up here in the corner. Now you notice the home key thing is missing. So you actually have to click up there. That gets you back. Okay, just a little navigating. I'm going to remove the browser from now for the rest of the session. The other thing I'm going to remove for the most part is the mixer from the session. But I want you to know that there's a shortcut. It should be your function key, F4. It's above the 4 and the 5 on your keyboard. And if you click F4, I'm sorry, I meant to say F3. F3 is your mixer. There you go. All right. So now, if this looks like too much to look at, reminder that over here, you've got an option to make it a little bit more narrow. All right. Which may or may not help you. And from time to time, you might want to see more details about what's going on with the mixer. And that's where you can use these inverted arrows or arrows pointing at each other to get all the details about each track. Okay. Now I'm going to close this out by either clicking X or clicking F3. All right. Okay. Having said that, the last thing you want to remember is that you've got over here your level meter. That came from the main. Let me put it so it's a little taller and you'll see it. You probably have the level meter right here in your main. And if you double clicked on it, it would open up and you've got it set up over here. One thing you may not know is if you do a right click down here, it gives you a couple of things you want to know. Peak RMS. For now, just know that you want it to be a peak RMS, which is an average of the volumes. The RMS length, you have options. Let's keep it low at 0.6 seconds. Okay. And the peak hold, basically, oops, sorry about that. Peak hold is selected. I want it to be selected. There we go. And the hold length, you probably can't see that very well. I've got it set for 2 seconds. Hopefully you can see that on this recording, that it's set for 2 seconds. You've got other options, but I like that. Okay. I'm giving you all this now as the breakdown before we start the session, just so that we can get on the same page together. This is the full session from start to finish. There is another shortcut, which is your on your number pad, the delete key, which would be on the bottom right of your keyboard. That'll get you back to return to 0. Another quick way to return to 0 is to double click on the square. I think we've covered the preliminaries. All right. All the tracks are here, and I'm going to mark this time right now.